I am $6,550 into this Whiteout survival account, and it is day 39 right now. Today, I'm going to show you where my Hall of Chiefs run is, and then I'm going to show you a little bit of spending I'm going to do, and then I'm going to do some hero development because that's part of this phase of Hall of Chiefs. So let's get into this. First things first, the little bit of spending I'm going to do. I am trying not to do too much for Hall of Chiefs. All I need to do is be in the top 10 so that I get 20 of the Geronimo shards, because those shards, if you've been following me, those shards in combination with the VIP 11 will allow me to max out Geronimo early. So my whole goal in this particular Hall of Chiefs is just to ensure that 100% I'm going to be in the top 10 by the end of the tournament. So as happens in Hall of Chiefs, the competition gets tighter, and I just want to make sure that if I get pushed down towards the bottom, I don't fall out of the top 10. So I did do a little bit of push when I had a little bit of advantage with troops, because I have T10 troops and not everybody does. And when I did the math, I can get about 50% more points in the troop development phase as opposed to just creating troops in a later stage where I wouldn't get as many points for it. So that's where I stand right now. Today is power boost. So I get to do, I've been really waiting. I don't know if I have as much saved as I thought though, but I've been waiting on some using some essence stones, and I've been waiting on using some widgets. The construction I can't do any of, and research I can do some of, and troops I can do some of, but it really doesn't matter right now because I've gotten what I can out of troops. However, if towards the end of this push I see that people are really, climbing up on me, I may have to use troops even though it's not as efficient to do it right now. I did a bunch yesterday was gathering. I did a bunch in stage 3. So here's where I landed in stage 3. Again, I pushed enough just to get myself floating towards the top. I wasn't trying to be super competitive on this one. I just wanted to make sure I registered points so I can be up there. So that's where we stand with Hall of Chiefs. Now let me do a little bit of spending. So I can do some spending here if I need more essence stones. So we'll see how it goes when I start doing the hero development. I don't want to spend too much past the $5 mark though. I've already spent the $5 mark because that's the most efficient for VIP. And speaking of which, where is it? The daily deals. So the whole reason I'm doing the daily deals here is because this is, I think, the most efficient VIP purchase that I've seen in the game so far, because you get that number of VIP for $6 when it would normally cost you, for $5 when it would normally cost you $6. So these are all, decent buys as far as a VIP. It's 500 per dollar essentially. So that scales up fine, and you'd normally have to pay $6 for that, but here it's discounted to $5. I'm not going to develop Philly that much until I hear some comments from you. So give me some comments on this video and tell me what you think I should be doing with Philly. But basically the way I look at it is, she's marginally good as a bear joiner. She's going to be outdated soon. She's going to kind of be a trophy for a whale account, I think, basically. But the only reason I'm doing the daily deals, well, right now I'm going to get some mythic shards for her, and also I'm going to get the VIP, so it works towards the VIP grind. But that's the only reason I'm doing Philly. So that's that spend. We don't have the lucky wheel anymore for Flint. And so the last thing to check out is this treasure hunter. And I've decided what I'm doing on treasure hunter is I'm just going to run down the daily missions as best I can. I'm not going to stress over it too much. And then I'm going to save these up because I pressed this only to chest floor 5 just so I can get some mythic shards from floor 5 for clearing 5 floors. But to go to 15 floors, I mean, the amount of money and the amount of luck I would have to have, and basically the shop isn't that great right now. I'm just going to save them. So I'm going to do the daily grind just to save those, what are these called? Pickaxe? It's called exactly what it is. And then when the shop gets better in future rounds, when we get Treasure Hunter, then I'll use them later. So that's the plan on Treasure Hunter. So some people told me, hey, just at least spend the $5 a day on it because it's good for VIP grind. That's true, but I'm spending on Philly right now and I'm trying to slow down a little bit. I don't want to spend any more than I have to for Hall of Chiefs. I don't want to overspend on this and that. So this is the mentality. It's like, I want to try to allocate this to making absolutely sure I get the Hall of Chiefs top 10 so I can get that Philly shard. That's my goal right now, and spend as little as possible doing that so I can kind of save up to do a little bit more spending around Valentine's Day and the Chinese New Year. So with that little bit of spending done, let's see if I need to spend any more. Let's first come into the hero development. So make absolutely sure I'm doing the right thing here. What I'm looking for is essence stones, hero gear essence stones, and widgets. All right, so let's do widgets first because I feel like I have less widgets. So Geronimo's widget is already maxed out, so no more to do there. Molly is my arena champion right now, and I've heard she's very useful for several generations, especially in arena. So I'm going to focus on Molly, and let's see. I'm missing 3, and I got some custom widgets chests, so I'll do the 3 to be able to level up hers once. All right. And I don't have enough to do her again. I'm going to have to see if I can get any more. Now, I had a little debate with myself, like, do I want to spend any of those chests on Natalia? And I don't think I want to, because from what I understand, her usefulness goes down over time pretty quickly. So even though she is kind of a nice, again, trophy to have on the account, she'll be useful for a certain period of time into Gen 2 even, I don't think she's going to be worth it in that long. And I really don't want to spend anything on Zinman, especially not widgets on his weapon, because he won't be useful very long as well, I don't think. So then we get into, Flint and Philly. And again, I just explained, like, I'm not going to do too much with Philly, because the more I've researched it, it just doesn't look like she's going to be all that useful for very long. So I'm not going to overspend on her. But Flint is useful for quite a while, so maybe I can spend just enough of those. This is what I'm going to do. This is the Gen 2 widget chest now. I'm definitely going to unlock his widget, or his weapon with the widgets. So that's Flint. And the thing is, I have Alonzo coming up next, but here's the problem I have. I need points for Hall of Chiefs to make absolutely sure that I'm in the top 10. So, like what I've done so far, look, I'm only in rank 23 for this particular phase. I'll probably be all right for total ranking. I mean, but like there's things other people can do that I can't compete with. I can't do any construction. I can't do any of the cheap research. And I've already done a bunch of troop spamming. So if we get into these other phases with chief gear and, more use of shards, which I have a limited amount of shards, and speed ups, like anybody can use speed ups, right? So there's a lot of things people can do to spam. I think I'm going to be okay. So the question becomes, do I spend some of the widgets now? I mean, they won't be wasted on Flint, but I really would like to put as much towards Alonzo as fast as possible. But the reality is that if I'm going to save the widgets for Alonzo anyways, because I'm going to wait for some other event and I don't want to, use the widgets on Alonzo before, because he's not coming out until this weekend, as I understand it, Sunday. Does it make sense to use the widgets now for Flint to be on Hall of Chiefs, or save them for Alonzo? And I guess this is a bit of a judgment call. I hope it doesn't get me in trouble, but looking at this point spread, I mean, that's 80 million point spread. I probably will be okay, but let's see how we come out of, because what I'd like to do is not use them on Flint if I don't have to, because these are the generic ones, right? Unless that's all I'm going to get, but still, like I don't see a point in driving this up just to use it if Alonzo's coming out on Sunday, and then I'll just wait to use him on Alonzo. So I'm going to wait on that one. We'll see how things look after the rest of the hero development. So that's all the widgets. Now let's do some hero gear essence stones. So I've been waiting to see how much I can, so I've been waiting to see how far I can push this gear. And I haven't been doing any more master forging, but look, can I ascend this now? So how does the ascension work? So this requires mythic gear. And I do have some mythic gear. I think that's on some heroes that's not being used. So let me check those out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I'm back.
It's been too
Yeah,
long.
like Jessie doesn't need this gear, right? Because if she's a joiner, she's not going to need it. Tell me in the comments if I'm doing the thing right now, and by the time you watch this, if I made a mistake, it will have been too late. Part of the entertainment value for you is seeing me mess up and make mistakes that I wish I can take back. Patrick leads sometimes in, I'm going to leave this on Patrick, because Patrick sometimes we use for defense, and I'm not sure, I'm a little less confident on Patrick. We might need Patrick to have some of this mythic gear for defense purposes.
Blink of an eye.
But these ones that are like basically bear joiners, I don't think I'm ever gonna, not many cases I'm gonna lead, at least not in this phase in the game. I feel like right now this is the right move because they're primarily joiners for me. But you guys tell me in the comments if you think I messed up on any of these.
The hunt only ends.
And I'll have learned from it. So with that, let's go back to Geronimo and just take a look again. So he's got here Molly, Natalia's. This is debatable, right? Zinman. This gear is useful, anyways. If it's not for Zinman, that'll go to Alonzo, and I probably won't need it on Bahidi as well. Flint will need some gear, so maybe I should make sure I don't lose anything that's gear that Flint can use. Because he may lead defensive rallies. And I think the rest of these, Patrick is the one I'm debating, but I think the rest of these can be bear for now. If I messed up, tell me in the comments, but that's what I'm going to do for now. So now, coming back to Geronimo, let's take a look at this gear. The thing is that this Ascension, now that I look at it, while I can do this, actually I just did all that, but I don't think that matters right now because I don't need essence stones to do that. So let me skip that and let you guys tell me before I make a mistake. You guys tell me what I need to do there. Instead, I'll just focus on the Master Forging because this is where my essence stones come in, and this I will get credit for the event. This event is essence stones and widgets. So let me hold off on the Ascension, and then we'll do the stones and see where we land. All right. So that's level 10. And now probably only going to be, I can only do one of these. So now the question becomes, how far do I need to be in Hall of Chiefs? Do I want to spend some money to get some more stones? Because there is an opportunity to spend some money and get stones. Oh, there's an offer right there. Well, I'm going to hold off on that one for a second here. But let's take a look where we're sitting. Oh, now I'm rank 2. Okay. Okay, now I'm rank 2. And I'm sitting in a nice place for total still. I don't really care about winning this stage. All I care about is my total ranking going to be where it needs to be at the end of this tournament. And now we're at a position where I think I'm a good 100 million over the bottom. 10th place. I don't know. They know there's a lot of sniping that happens, but I don't know if there's going to be that much sniping. 100 million? Is someone going to be able to catch up that far? I also have Chief Gear that I can pull tomorrow. Raise Chief Gear score by 1. So I do have some Chief Gear stuff that I can do, but not that much. But there is an opportunity to buy in the shop. So I think I'm actually gonna sit on that. Again, you guys tell me in the comments if you think this is the right move, but I think that's the right move here. I think sitting on that. I'm trying to get Geronimo's gear leveled up, essentially. I wonder if I have any smaller gear I can do. No, this probably won't be. Yeah, I only have 10 shards. So let's just check the shops first, see if there's any obvious, like, kind of gimmies that I don't have to spend money. Let me check the Alliance shop. I'll grab that while I'm in here. And I always grab those. But I don't know these shops well enough to know, where to look, so I just usually check them all. So let's see. If we get any stones. But I need a bunch. I mean, yeah, here, I can't get enough here. I can get what, 1 stone at a 20% discount there, or save up for the widgets, and I think I'd rather save up for the widgets. Arena shop, I'm gonna hold on to that. VIP shop, this doesn't refresh yet, and I've got what I can from it. No stones here. Yeah, not until VIP 11. We don't have any more championship money. No more foundry money. Skin shop is something different. Labyrinth shop is, I'm saving that for, well, Mithril and some other things, so. All right, so that's all we got there. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm comfortable with that. I'm going to sit on that right there, and I'm going to wait for you guys to give me some comments telling me if you think I did the right thing here. I remember, my criteria is just to make absolutely sure I'm going to come in top 10 over here. So if you think that this point spread is good enough for me to be able to come in top 10, and I do have an opportunity, if I slip, I can do Chief Gear. Well, I'm going to do Chief Gear tomorrow anyways, but I don't know if I'm going to do that much. Let's take a look.
You do notice the
So Chief Gear
technique, don't you?
without charms means I have to do gear enhancement. And I don't have that much. I can do two gear enhancement cycles, basically. Because I only have 95 design plans. So I might have to do, if I want to do one across all of them at least, I would need, you know, a few more, what is that, 30? No, 25 more design plans. So 24 more design plans. I could probably pick that up from the deal. Let's check that deal. Is it one of these? Yeah, so I can grab this deal for $5. It's here for 2 days. I can grab that deal for $5. I can do, so that's not a lot though. Other people might have a bunch that they can do that I can't. And it's only 500 points each. But we'll see. And then the last phase, I do have some more shards I can do. Not a substantial amount, but I do have more shards I can do. Mythic shards. So, and then if push comes to shove, I'll just have to buy some packs and use the speed ups. I feel like I'm in a good position to be in control. I want to be able to control the dial. I don't want to overspend and go hard at this. I just want to make absolutely sure that I'm going to be in the top 10. That's my goal. So I think I'm in a good place here. Tell me in the comments if you agree. That's all I'm going to do for tonight. So make sure if you like this content, if you want to follow my journey of this efficient whale spending, I've got $8,000 more left for the rest of the year. Well, it's actually a little bit less than that now that I've been spending, but that's the plan, is all of 2026, $8,000. So give me a like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so that when I go live with events sometimes like Bear Trap and Crazy Joe, and I'm going to try to do Frostfire and stuff like that, but I missed an opportunity to do that the other day. So just turn on notifications so you know when that content posts. I appreciate it very much. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I'll see you later.